On. Hello, everybody. Welcome to tonight's episode of... What are we playing again?
Daggerheart.
I think it starts with a D.
Daggerheart 2077.
Daggerheart 2077. Excellent.
Sear liver.
I believe this is episode 11. We're almost to a dozen. I'm excited to see where this goes. Let me do
Is
a
it
round
episode 11 or is it episode 2?
I know what you mean.
2.2?
Right. Okay. Season 2. Okay, I got it. Hey,
wow, we can
I'm gonna
already
do my
see how
intro-
well this is
right?
going to go.
Yeah, I was saying this is gonna be a fun night.
I'm just going to do my intro now so that I remember who I am. I'm Jeremy. You can find me here on this channel. You can also find me at WH Pubs on all of the social medias. And I can type the command into chat correctly. Why don't we have Lauren go next? Tell us who you are and who you're playing. I guess I'm playing Knots. I should have said that.
We're all doing so good. I'm glad I'm not the only one that's like low-key out of it. But
Right?
yes, I'm Lauren. I'm playing the Guardian Seraph giant. There's a lot to that now. Triss. Yeah, you can find me on Instagram. Really, that's it. At Lauren's Open World. So
Nice.
yeah.
Jason, tell us all about yourself and who you're playing.
I am not Jeremy. I'm Jason. I will be playing Astoy, the fungal warrior druid.
Nice.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun.
Oh.
Usually catch me on here or on my Twitch channel.
Not related to the other fungal that you were playing
No.
that we know of yet.
I mean, they're fungal.
They're all connected,
The mycelial
Yeah.
network.
right?
I mean, he is forcing his way into my brain and making me do things.
Did anyone ever watch Star Trek Discovery and the ship that ran on essentially
Yeah.
fungus?
Yeah.
That was a weird premise. Anyway,
Great fungus ships.
I said my mycelial network and just had like flashbacks.
Absolutely. And last but not least, Carly, tell us who you are and all of the secrets that you don't want us to find out before we get to them tonight.
Right. Hi, I'm Carly. I'm the dungeon master for this game. I play games. I make dice. You can find my dice at Armadillo Dice and on Etsy. And well, as for secrets,
I'm sorry, your audio seems to have cut out. Can you make sure come back and repeat
sorry,
that?
it seems like I was muted. But anyways,
Sure.
We need a little reader.
Right?
We'll just
We
call
are
you
missing-
Kane from now on.
I think I read you all leveled up and got 3 bags worth of gold. That's what. I
hey,
read.
you guys are the one that wanted this to be a more realistic campaign, which means you're not going to be leveling up every episode or every other episode.
That's
Sorry,
fair.
guys. Especially considering there's only 10 levels.
Right. Gotta
Oh, there is. Wow.
spread that
Yep.
out.
Yeah, you guys are like level 10 characters right now. Be proud
Well,
of yourselves.
We could play the Spinal Tap campaign where the knob goes to 11.
Well, you can continue to level up, as in get abilities and stuff, past level 10, but there's no like
Official.
actual, like,
Yeah.
there's no like level 11s. You can just get like more domain cards or more health or things like that.
And speaking
nothing.
of getting domain cards, you can go to daggerheart.com and pre-order the book and the cards that are coming out in Q1 of 2025.
Spring of 2025,
yeah.
which means that it could be late Q1 or Q2.
Right?
Mhm.
We will
Depends on
put
your
an
definition
ambiguous
of
time frame on
spring.
this.
spring. Is that spring in the US? Is that spring in Australia?
Could be the last day of June, as far as we
Right.
know.
Who knows? We don't.
But, it's
But
gonna be
next
fun.
year, sometime.
Yes.
Right.
Sometime.
Nice.
But you could pre-order now, so that way you could pay for it and forget about it, and then it's a nice present for yourself.
Forget about it.
Forget about it.
By the time you
I
get
will
it, it'll feel like
say
you did
they are
spend the
doing
money.
art drops like almost every week now, and some of the art is
Ooh.
pretty sweet.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you should go follow Darrington Press. They're the ones doing all the drops for Daggerheart stuff.
Hell yeah.
Indeed. We're just here spreading the word.
Spreading the word and having fun playing a cool game that is absolutely not the finished product. So beware.
Right.
please do not get any preconceived notions that this is how Daggerheart will work in the future.
I suppose we also should say Megan and Ryan will not be joining us tonight because life and things, but we will miss them, and we're going to do our best to not kill their characters while they're gone.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be making some decisions, but they'll be rolling the dice. So it'll really be on them whether they succeed or not.
I'll be rolling the dice that you made, and so it all comes back around to you.
Are both sets? Are both D12s armadillo dice?
I mean, I have 4 sets of yours here now.
Yeah, so all the D12s that you'll be rolling on your armadillo dice.
Oh, I just clocked
that just means that as long as he's rolling high, I mean, the fear or hope is not really on me because they're all my dice. It really comes down to Jeremy's decision on which dice is the hope or fear.
That is fair. This game, the last set I bought from you are going to be hope dice tonight because last time I tried to use them as fear, and you were just like gorging on fear.
Yeah.
I mean, I am fueled by fear. It's like literally in the book for Daggerheart that I am fueled by fear. So, you know, just coincides with my real life. That's fine. But yeah, with that, our fantastic crew of, part of Inatra with Nyx and Astoy, since neither one of them were part of the naming convention for the group, have just, they went to sleep and left some people on watch. Knots and Astoy were left on watch. And while on their watch, while having a fascinating discussion about how to eat and serve mushrooms, they were attacked by these stone wraiths, which are essentially mountain lions. They're mountain lions made of stone. Look, these are in the playtest handout. I had a nice good laugh about it when I saw them, and I was like, hey. And then Jeremy made the joke for me. So, you know, it's great. But yes, they had just finished killing one, and the other one melded into the rock underneath them and seemingly ran away. That is where we left off. It is still currently in the middle of their long rest downtime, which means that since they already made their choices for their long rest, they don't get to make new choices. They just get to continue with their old choices. However, they still have another good 6 hours left.
I think this is where Nyx and Grace, we're going to take over the watch so that they can mess it up while we sleep.
Oh, are we going to have Nyx and Grace on watch, or just one?
I don't remember what the watch breakdown was.
So, generally speaking, if you have one, you can do 4 2-hour watches, which gives you 8 hours.
Right.
Or you can do 3 3-hour watches, which gives you 9 hours.
Jason, were Astoy and
Generally, you
the
guys
first?
had been doing.
We were
Yes,
first.
you guys
Okay.
were the first watch. Generally, you guys had been doing 4 watches, and then the 5th person sleeps through. But this time, you had Astoy on watch with you.
Gotcha.
As a new person.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, Triss was next.
Yeah, okay.
I'll continue on my watch. After this creature seems to vanish, I'm assuming we're like on edge for a few minutes watching for it, and then it just doesn't return. I will go over to the hole
Blood.
with the stone one and just see. Obviously, you said the creature itself turned to stone, but I'll see if it had if it fed on anything recently
Yeah,
that wasn't stone.
It's difficult to tell, as the insides of it when you killed it had formed into stone, so you would have to try and dig down to where the stomach would be, given the fact that you ripped out like its shoulder, which would be digging through solid stone, and try to get to their stomach in the hope that maybe whatever is in their stomach didn't also turn to.
It's probably not worth all that effort.
You say that, and you look over, and Knots is like jamming like a pick or something into its side, trying to dig it out. No, this is really
Yeah, this is like a good experiment. We should figure out what these bears eat. Luigi, try and figure out what two people eat us. It's really
Kavoon comes over and just grabs you by the scruff of your collar
hey.
and just pulls you out of the hole.
Yeah, it's probably, a better idea. Everyone's sleeping. We're trying to sleep, making noise. We can do this in the morning.
Yeah, Grace and Nyx are just glaring at you from their sleeping positions.
It's okay. Shh, go back to sleep.
Triss, without opening her eyes, goes, "Do you really want to know, Knots? It might be that they ate goblins."
Well, that's kind of my point. Like, it's good to know these things so that if, they do eat goblins, I know to stay away from them. Whereas they don't eat goblins, they might be friends. It could have been a friendship thing, but we just didn't realize it was friendship until, now. Or something.
Triss is gonna crack an eye and have an expression on her face like, "How have you lived this long?" but is not gonna say anything.
Do you guys having a hard time sleeping? You want me to sing you a lullaby or something?
I think we would.
They
all
like
benefit
turn their
from a little
backs
bit
to
of
you. They like
quiet.
turn over in their sleep and they just turn their backs to you.
You don't want to attract more of those things, and I feel like being loud may do so.
I could
I could sing quietly. Be quiet. He's singing. Go to sleep.
How about no singing at all? We'll save singing for when we're traveling tomorrow.
Oh, I like it. Kind of wired now. I'm not in my voice. Hang on.
I'm kind of wired now, though. I wasn't expecting it, and so now I'm agitated. I'm surprised you all can just turn around and go back to sleep. I can see your eyes are still open, Nix.
Nyx, who has his back to you, just gives you the finger.
Let's let him see.
I'm trying to sleep. You should just go to sleep. But doesn't need to sing into sleep. And shh.
I think Kavoon's getting angry.
After a bit, she'll calm down.
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, you guys didn't have much left on your watch. You guys had a half hour left on your watch, so you guys could easily get through that before handing the watch over to Triss.
Before I end my rest, I'm going to go ahead and spend 3 hope and heal myself a little.
Okay.
Hey, I
Alright.
healed for 2.
Yay!
Nice.
Alright, my turn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was gonna say before she went back to sleep after getting attacked, Triss probably would have healed herself. But we hopped right into harassing
Yeah,
Knots.
you can.
so-
You can heal yourself. That's
Cool.
totally fine.
That takes away the 2
Um,
HP that I took then.
If anybody else has any healing that they need, Nyx could provide a top off as well.
I'm not sure where Grace was, but I think everyone else is good.
I think Grace is fine on health because she got helped in all the situations that she might have taken health. Yeah, she's only down 1 stress. So okay, well,
Before I lay
okay.
down, I'll go to Trist. If you need to, you're going to have to shake me to wake me up.
Good to know.
I'm going to spin a stress and turn into a naked mole rat because they're deaf.
I love it.
Triss goes
go
from
to
being
bed.
slightly confused to being even more confused, but then kind of just accepts it and is like, yeah, alright.
I feel like the last thing you hear before you turn into the mole rat is because you say, "You're gonna have to shake me to wake me up." You hear not say,
Like a baby.
as she's drifting off to
Explains
sleep.
so much about goblins.
Oh no. Oh
I'm
There's just a
worried about
poster
their
of knots.
child survival rate.
Yeah, there's a poster of knots somewhere that's for shaken baby syndrome, and it's like not even once.
I'm really worried about the kids in the town that you're from. Like, really worried.
I'm sure they're
Only the
fine.
strong survive.
Oh
No, what we're
god.
going to find out is Knots is the smartest and best of them all.
Hey, don't steal my thunder.
Oh.
That's how Knots got out.
Right.
Yeah, anyways, yeah, you can heal yourself. You see a stoid turn into, you're not sure what it is, actually. I'm not sure that you've ever seen a naked mole rat. It's a furless rodent of some kind. You're not sure. But it just, it's about this big. And curls up and goes to sleep. Yeah, you can fully give me a instinct roll for your watch, Triss.
Okay. I'm so good at that. Alright, that is a 10, but with hope.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, nothing too awful happens. Most of the time you just get distracted by typical Knots sleeping behavior of talking in their sleep and drooling.
She actually fell asleep on Triss, and so there's like Triss keeps getting distracted. She's like, "Ew, gross! Stop."
But I mean, the night passes. It's getting cold though, and you guys are at the base of the mountain, so there's some understanding that it is probably going to be much different than what most of you are used to when you get up the mountain.
Oh boy.
Yeah, you can feel free to wake up Nyx or Grace.
I will wake up. Grace.
Yeah, easy enough. She is not one that you have to be careful with waking up, unlike some other people. Yeah, she wakes up. She takes over the watch for you. I need one of you guys to give me a duality roll and add a +2.
I can do it. Ooh, all right. 22 with hope.
Nice. Yeah, she stands watch, and she has a pretty good idea of everything that's kind of moving within a certain distance of the encampment, but nothing really comes closer. She does spend some time looking over the beginning of the trail, because you guys are like camped out at the base of the switchbacks that head up the mountain. And she is pretty sure that there's going to be some rock troubles ahead from the avalanches caused by the stone wraiths. You can already tell that just like a couple switchbacks up, there's a gap of some kind, as if a piece of the shelf of the switchback fell away, and that there's enough rock that there's probably some other points that were affected as well. But otherwise, her watch passes pretty easily. She wakes up Nyx for the final watch and heads to crash to get some extra sleep. Nyx will stand watch. I need somebody else to roll me a duality dice for him, and you can also add +2.
I got it. Uh, 13 with hope.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah. Nyx. He stands his watch, but he's a little distracted during the watch. He didn't have the best night of sleep that he's ever had, between the stone wraiths and some nightmares. He spends most of his time trying to resettle himself while just keeping like a vague watch out. But luckily, nothing seems to come back during the night, and as the sun starts to rise, since you guys went to bed fairly early, Nyx moves around to wake up the rest of the crew. So you guys can reset anything that resets on a longer short rest, but you don't get any of the downtime options because you already chose those.
Cool.
But they kick in now, right?
Yeah, but I think some people had already marked their hope off.
Okay.
So if you hadn't, you can kick it in now. But I think most people had already marked their
Okay.
hope.
Yeah, I added my 2 hope.
Great. With that, yeah, the sun is barely starting to. You can't even actually see the sun behind the mountains, but the ambient light is increasing, that you can now have much more normal visibility, even though you don't have view of the sun yet. And it's cold.
Do we have climbing gear already?
I believe Nyx used his pack to prepare some climbing gear, because he's Wonderborn, so he.
Me too, and that's what I was going to do. But I'm trying to think of what kind of thing I can pull out to help us with this. On top of that, so if we've already got the gear, what?
Well, he's got like basic climbing gear that he's
Okay.
pulled out, so you could wait for a particular problem. Like you don't have to pull it
Sure.
out at the beginning of the day, so you could
Okay.
wait to provide some other unique item if you wish, or if let's say
I was just
something
thinking I
happens
have the
and-
hope right now. I better use it now, but I'll wait until it's gone,
I
and
mean,
Oh. I
you
have
could always
rope,
save
but
it.
I think that's the only like helpful thing I have.
Hey, rope is infinitely useful.
Oh yeah.
I also have the glider, but that only is going to be helpful if we fail, I feel like.
Oh yeah, who had the other glider? I need to remember, because I think it was him.
I think Grace got one or Nyx. I forget who.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Nyx. I was like, I think it was Nyx that got it, but yeah, it's Nyx. Yeah. But it's you have enough visibility now that you think, you know, you want to use as much daylight as you have, so you probably want to start climbing, or well, in this case, it's not climbing yet; it's switchbacks, hiking up the mountainside.
After they
Anybody
wake a
else?
stoy, he'll climb out from underneath his blanket and return to normal.
Yeah. But I will. It is single file. Is there's not enough room to move side by side. I mean, Knots and one other person might be able to fit side by side, but definitely nobody's going to be able to be side by side with Triss.
That'll probably
Triss
beat
is going to
riding
already be a
Kavoon.
little too big.
I feel like Triss would probably go first with the pretense of like, if she can get through, any of the rest of them could.
Fair.
Yeah.
You might have that like length of stride that like Knots just doesn't have, but I'll be on Kavoon
That's what you ride Kavoon
for now.
yeah.
Right.
Also, if she's in front, she can like get over something and then like help people up over it too.
Totally.
Okay, well, Triss is in front. I feel like Grace would probably end up in the middle somewhere. Otherwise, I'll leave that to you guys.
If Nyx has the climbing gear and stuff, he's probably up near Triss, like
Sure.
using
Give
it
me a
as
second.
necessary. I feel like I would stay near the back then to be able to help out if anyone fell or something.
Right.
As if you weren't the one that fell yesterday.
Right.
But sure. So we'll just say that the walking order, the climbing order is Triss, Nyx, Grace, Stoy, Knots, and Kavoon.
Sure.
Before we take off, Stoy's gonna have a seat and just kind of look off into the valleys below and relax a little and clear a couple stress.
Sure. What feature are you using for that? Just so I can keep track.
That is clarity of nature. Once per long rest, I can create natural serenity around me.
Yes.
Spend a few minutes. Yeah.
Absolutely. But yeah, and so you guys can start heading up the mountainside. As you guys start moving up the switchbacks, I could say, let's say Triss, because you're leading, you can give me an instinct roll to see. You can see what
Can I get
lies ahead.
some assistance from anyone on that? Because I'm not very good at it.
If somebody spends a hope, they can give her advantage.
I'm happy
Grace will assist you.
Okay.
She's
I'm happy to do
she's
so. I'm trying to
full
figure
up.
out how.
Yeah.
It's like she's
It's
full up on
advantage is a
hopes, so-
D6 now, right?
Correct.
Yep.
Yes, yeah, I remember that they changed that back. Alright. terrible roll. I'm gonna add one of my prayer dice to that. Still only makes it 11, but it's double digits and with hope, so...
Okay, so you can take a hope. Yeah, as you start moving along, you can see that about 4 switchbacks up, there is a bunch of like rock, like obscuring the path, and then above it on the next switchback, it's like a chunk of it has fallen away and like landed part of it on the path, and then obviously the rest continued to tumble down.
Okay.
But you can see that that's like what looks like it's going to be the first physical challenge of this climb. You can't really tell any obvious signs of impending danger above that. You also notice, you're not sure what they are, but there looks to be some kind of markings or scrapings, like periodically put along this path, like carved into the wall of the,
Okay.
Like intentional
will
markings.
Yes, that they stand out as in that they look like they're intentional. You're not sure what they are or who they were made by or what they're for or any of that. You just noted that it stands out in the fact that it's like not natural like grooves within the mountain, like something put it there.
I would definitely point that out to everybody.
And do I recognize it by chance?
You can give me a knowledge roll.
Okay. Would
to
my
see if
mountainous
you
advantage
recognize.
help with this?
I don't believe so, but let me see what your wording is specifically. No, this is not survival knowledge.
Okay.
However, you can take advantage from Grace. Grace will also, once they're pointed out, be peering at them curiously.
That'd be a 13 with hope.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you can't identify much about them other than they seem to be like put there on purpose. As if they were man-made or humanoid-made, but you can't really tell what their purpose is or what their origin might be.
This might be a warning from others that live on here. I'm not familiar with them, though.
Interesting.
I mean, it could be trail markers from another tribe that I'm not familiar with, too. Again, never seen these particular ones before.
They don't look familiar to me at all, do they?
You could give me another knowledge roll if you want.
I'm terrible at that, but I'll try. Why not?
Coming from a part of the Broken Spine Mountains, can I assist?
Yeah, you can spend a hope to assist her.
Okay, I'll do so.
Okay. My D6 keeps rolling terribly. That's fine. Okay.
It
Well,
is
I rolled a 1 on my
representative knots
D6,
there.
what compensates for my -1 in knowledge, so for a total of 15, but with fear.
Okay, well, I will take that fear. However, you do recognize them slightly. You recognize that they seem to be some kind of like sigil of some kind, an enchantment maybe. They are based in some kind of maybe weather magic, but you can't really infer more than that. You're not really sure who created them. You're not sure what the basis of the magic is or what type of magic it is, other than that it seems to be weather-based sigils of some kind.
with that 15, can Trish tell how old it is?
No.
Okay.
Other than like looking at it and the way that it's like set into the mountain and weathered, it does. I mean, they're not new.
Okay, yeah, that was my whether or not the people we're following were like leaving booby traps behind.
Yeah, no, they're not. They're not new. They have been set for some amount of time. You're not sure if they're ancient, a year old, but they're definitely older than a week.
Okay.
Cool.
Just based on weathering.
All right.
Interesting.
Well, how do we want to get over this?
I mean, these runes, we could just leave them. I'm not a big fan of magic trying to control the weather, but
I meant the large rock slide, but
I mean, we can crawl over.
When we get to the rock slide, I do want to just make sure that our people we're following aren't just, wicked witched underneath it. We're like, oh, we found them.
Sure. As you're passing by on the switchback beneath where the piles of rocks are, you can give me an instinct roll to see if
Sure.
you can look and see if there's anybody just hiding.
And not necessarily hiding, but like, I would like to know if someone is also hiding. Yes, but I'm just looking to make sure that there is like not sign of them being like crushed by it. What in the heck, dice? Well, that is that's an 8 with fear. That's after I swap my dice around. The dice that were rolling well are now rolling poorly.
Yeah, you as you guys are passing by, and the rest of the group has already passed by and are like further up the switchback, and you're like right underneath the pile of rocks, and you're like peering up at it, and wait, did you see a hand? So, there's a hand in the rocks, and then the rock it's shifting. Are they trying to get out? As a rock tumbles off of because of the footsteps and your movement and just whatever else. You don't know. You think somebody's trying to get out of the pile of rocks.
Eat me.
And a few of the smaller rocks try to tumble down in your direction. So I need an agility reaction roll. As the rocks start tumbling towards you.
So I'm writing Kavoon. How do we want to do this? Does Kavoon get a reaction first to try and get out of the way, and then do I get something to try and stay on Kavoon?
Yeah, you can have Kavoon make a reaction roll first, and then depending on how that goes, I may have other rolls.
All right, dice. Let's try this combination. Oh, okay. All right. Thank you. So this is with hope.
Right, take that hope.
17.
Yeah, the rocks start to like tumble down, and as you're not really paying attention, Kavoon just kind of scooches up and bumps up almost into the back of a stoy in an effort to like let the rocks tumble past you. Which they do. They don't manage to hit you or Kavoon, but you firmly believe that there is a person buried beneath the rocks trying to get out.
As Kavoon moves out of the way, Astoy, you just see Kavoon like pointing at the space, screaming that it's coming to eat her.
If Kavoon's screaming, then we got problems.
Right.
I think Knots is the one screaming.
There's one of those things, those lions that were the mountain lions that came out of the thing, but it's like in the shape of a person, I think. There's a hand. Don't you see it? It's right there.
I mean,
you turn back and you don't see it anymore. They must have gotten buried by the
It's hiding. We have to be very quiet now.
Well, yeah, we should be decently quiet as we travel anyway. If you're
Right.
tracking people.
Well, I mean, they're so far ahead of us. They can't. Unless they're
No, you should be very
somewhere else.
quiet.
You know, you really know me. I feel like you're being very judgmental.
No, you just said it yourself that we need to be very quiet.
Yeah, but that's what I said. And the way you said it seemed very, very judgy.
No, I was just agreeing with you.
Knots, do you remember what we said about trying to be quiet so we don't attract more monsters?
Oh, really?
Okay, well then, we're trying to be quiet so we don't attract more monsters.
This makes sense.
Grace turns to you and is like, hey, Knots, I bet I can be quieter for longer than you can.
What? My mom used to play this with me, and she won all the time. But that's not the point here. The point is, I've gotten better over the years at this game, and I'll bet you that you're wrong. I'll bet you I can do this.
Starting in 3, 2.
Right. I gotta. Now you go out first.
1. You guys can continue forward. Grace gives Triss like a proceed gesture.
Yeah, alright.
Yeah, so you guys follow this switchback and turn around and start heading up the switchback towards this mound of rocks that's resting in the middle of your path. And you come upon it first, Triss. You do notice that it's not terribly large because any more rocks that like pile on it will just tumble over. There's like not a big enough lip for there to be a huge pile of rocks, but they are loose rocks, and it is big enough and wide enough that you're not going to be able, even as a giant, to just like step over it. It will still take you at least a couple steps of careful maneuvering to get over the I mean, more steps for everybody else, but like a couple steps for you to get over the chunks of rock.
Out of curiosity, it kind of seems like rock slides are relatively common on this mountain, seeing as there's creatures that live in it that cause rock slides. Is that a correct assumption? Or thought?
You can you can give me a knowledge roll, but I'll let you have it at advantage.
Okay. I think I'm also going to spend a hope to use Heart Guardian because I've used that in the past to like analyze natural things. So
yeah, absolutely.
3. Okay. That's that is 20 with hope.
So you can take that hope. You observing the area and knowing your confrontation with the stone wraiths, you're not sure stone wraiths are necessarily like super common in this area, as you've not ventured a whole lot up here. But given the topography of like the mountain and the kind of rock that it's made of, you know that given the right circumstances, such as a stone wraith with their scream or storms, that this type of rock and type of mountain area is prone to rock avalanches. Granted, it is a fairly clear day currently where you are, and you're still pretty low on the mountain, so it's not prime conditions, but it is a relatively common occurrence.
Okay. I asked that in case it comes to that to get past this thing, I just need to try and like shove the rock away and cause a rock slide myself. But I figured that could be a last resort kind of thing.
Yeah, well, you also know from that knowledge just about rock slides, you know that areas that have had rock slides are much more likely to have reoccurrences of rock slides due to the already loose nature of the rock there, which means that it would be pretty easy to cause one either on purpose or inadvertently in an area that has already had a rock avalanche.
Cool. Other people have other ideas, but that was my like idea of if needed, just
is what's laying in the path completely covering the path itself? Like, is it okay? Is there a way to like shore it up to kind of like bolster it instead of moving it, and then we just climb over it? Or is this
so? Between all of you kind of looking at this, and you don't necessarily have the best view as you're at the back trying to look around Triss, but with Triss's knowledge roll and like looking at it, there's not really a good way to shore it up. Rock avalanches, rock slides are notoriously difficult to shore up just due to the nature of rocks and how they pile on top of each other. But the way that it's situated, it looks like the safest option, if not the quickest option, would be to actually remove the rocks. There doesn't seem to be any extra piled on top of it, as if all of the rock has already kind of fallen away. So the safest option looks like would be removing the rocks and like pushing them further down the mountain where you guys came from. But that wouldn't necessarily be a quick option.
I assume that like quick expanding foam filler is not a common item that I can pull out of my Wanderborn pack. I tried. Sorry.
Probably not.
I don't think that's a common item that somebody from our day and age could.
What? I've got that in my fanny pack that I carry around with me all. What?
I could try to make the rocks stick together a bit so that you could try to cross it.
How would you do that?
A little bit of trick. Using some spider webbing.
We try.
Grace turns and looks at you and is like,
all right, I'll spend a stress and turn into a legendary woolly trapdoor spider.
Ooh.
woolly trapdoor spider. Sorry.
Yep.
Let me pull it.
It's just the legendary spider. So it's like, it's about 3.5 feet long. It's got thick hair for a cold environment.
Yeah, you take a glance behind you, Triss, and there is now a giant spider behind you.
Having seen the story change a couple of times now, and not seeing him, I think she's just gonna be like, okay.
Yeah, he'll climb across and get up towards the rocks. I will use the web slinger ability and try to web this material in.
Yeah, I will say, given what you're trying to accomplish with this, give me a I believe your druid stuff is instinct based.
Yeah, though this one uses finesse for restraining stuff.
Yeah, you're not trying to restrain something right now, though. You're trying to like pull it together. So I would say you can use finesse or instinct.
Okay.
Your choice.
It's pretty much the same. Will my mounted survival help with this?
Sure. Yeah, you can add it for this. Have advantage.
16 with fear.
Yeah. So you Tris is about the only one that can see this. It's not necessarily a pretty sight. As this spider starts like shooting. You guys all know where webbing comes from on spiders, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Starts shooting the webbing out of its butt. Between the cracks of the rocks as it avoids like stepping on it itself, and starts basically using it as the foam spreader into the rocks to stick it together and try to make it a solid surface. You think you did a pretty good job. Like, you got into the biggest chunks and you've you tested out with like your legs, your spidery legs, and seems like it should hold the weight.
Okay.
Nice.
I'll cross it first.
Yeah. You watch as the spider crosses over its creation with no problem. As it's now waiting on the other side.
Tris will, like, cautiously, like, test out the strength of the,
Yeah,
weapon.
you test it out, and it seems pretty solid. Where before, like, it looked like the rocks would shift and move with very little provocation. You give it a nice, good, like, shake on a couple rocks, and it seems pretty sturdy.
Alright, she will very carefully cross over.
Yeah, you give me an agility roll, please.
Okay. Debating if I want to add an experience, because I don't want to fall. I'm gonna use I was gonna hope to do Captain the Heartblade's experience for like soldier training and athletic stuff.
keeping your footing.
Yeah, keep my footing. Oh no. That's a 9 with fear.
Yay! No, wait, that's bad.
Yes, that's bad.
Tris starts to move carefully, and the first step holds your weight just fine. Mm-hmm. You're going and you're moving across, and you take another step, and you're like, "Oh, well, hey, this is good. I'm gonna be fine. I just one more step, I'll be across because you got big long legs." But as soon as you release that pressure from your back foot to put all of the pressure on your front foot in the area where he wasn't able to reach as much to get the webbing in, it shifts underneath your footing. So I'm going to need an agility or strength reaction roll from you.
Definitely going to take strength.
What?
Oh, I thought that was a crit for a second. That's fine. 18. With fear.
With?
Oh, but that doesn't matter for reaction.
It's a reaction roll, yes.
Yes.
It does not matter. It shifts beneath you, but you manage to just, like, literally through, like, a correctly timed, powerful jump, just jump as it shifts, and you get enough push off to get you over the rock slide area and land and almost run straight into the spider that is waiting there. But as you tumble, You do take a stress just from that initial like
All right.
slight free fall like sensation before you
Yeah.
jumped to safety. But you
Cool,
are
cool.
on the other side. The rest of the group hears and saw some of the shifting on the far side of the rock
This is
slide.
the thing. I knew the rods. Oh my god, you gotta watch out.
Um, sorry.
It is kind of funny when Jeremy, when you don't enunciate fully, it just sounds like high pitched, like.
I feel like that's what not sounds like. So right.
Nix is standing there and like looks across at the two of you and looks at Astoy still in the spider form and is just like, could you fill in the spots on that side?
The spider will nod and crawl over and start filling in again, and we'll look at his creation and evaluate it, make sure it's okay for the others.
Yeah. Now that after you saw that shifting, you're like, oh, yeah, I probably didn't fill in all the sides over here, and managed to push in some more of the webbing. Nyx starts to carefully make their way across the reinforced rock slide. I need one of you guys to give me a duality roll and add +1.
I got it. Nice. 22 with hope.
Nice.
Great. Let me add another hope for him. And
The story will be watching as people cross, just in case he needs to try to help.
Yeah, he moves like quickly and across, kind of almost sprinting across. Other than that, it looks like he's moving, looks like he's gliding, as if he's never putting too much pressure on one foot at a time as he kind of shifts
He's going like
his
full
way
Legolas
across. And he gets over there and gives the spider a nod before kind of encouraging Triss and the rest of you to like just step back a little bit to make room for the next person. The next person who is Grace. So we need somebody else.
Grace, you gotta be careful because there's something in the rocks and I know you didn't see it, but it's trying to grab. It tried to grab me. It just tried to grab Triss. I know you all don't see it, but it's in there. I know I lost the game, but we'll start over. We'll start over.
When
right.
we get to the other side. When we get to the other side.
Alright, I can roll for Grace.
Yeah, she gets nothing added to the roll.
Okay, well, I rolled pretty solidly. It was 15 with hope.
Okay. She doesn't make her way across nearly as fast as Nyx did. Much more slow and cautious, but with a few small scares where it looked like she was going to trip and fall, she does manage to get across safely, which means that all that's left is Kavoon and Knots.
Nothing will go wrong.
right?
Well, the person didn't seem to disrupt anybody else besides Triss.
But now that I'm gonna go across, it's gonna try and grab me. I know. So I'm actually gonna get off of Kavoon and like lead the way and be ready to stab whatever it is trying to grab, because I don't want it to grab Kavoon. And so I'm gonna like creep across together.
Yeah, go ahead and give me agility rolls for both of you. Kavoon's does not generate hope or fear, but Knots will.
18 for Kavoon, and 15 with fear for Knots.
Bro, come on.
Right?
Yeah, you're moving along pretty good. You get about like halfway across the rock slide when Triss,
Oh,
you hear something. Oh, the Nyx hears it. Stoy, you hear it. There's this rushing sound of wind, as if there's just this icy blast of wind that's pulling down the mountainside towards all of you, and it hits Stoy and Triss first before brushing through the entire
would I have
group.
time to sort of like, because I'm large, to sort of like brace myself in front of everybody in front of it to try and...
You can try. How effective it is will depend on your roll. However,
Okay.
everybody is going to make a strength reaction roll. A Stoy,
Yep.
you will have advantage.
Sure.
Okay.
So how does that work for Kavoon? Do I still roll the agility even though it's strength?
Yeah, you still
Okay.
roll agility for Kavoon because that's how you roll for him. All the
Would
time.
I be able to... It's not exactly the way it's supposed to be used, but if I spent a stress to essentially use I am your shield, could I give everybody advantage on it?
If you spend a stress for I am your shield, you can give yourself advantage, and that might improve their chances because you're
Gotcha. Yeah, you know what? Sure. Why not? All right. Yeah. I got a 24.
Nice.
Okay.
Amazing.
What did Astoy get?
19.
Oh wait, no, 27. I didn't add my strength modifier.
27. Nice. So I got a 19. Great. I need and then I need you guys to roll for Nyx and Grace also, please.
I'll roll for Grace.
Okay.
Grace
I'll
has
go
a
next.
-1 to strength, and Nyx has a +3.
Well, Nick's got a 17. Sorry, 19.
You said minus what for Grace?
-1.
Okay, then she got a 17.
And
Nice.
then what did
Kavoon and Knots.
Kavoon and
Kavoon got a 15, and surprisingly enough, because I have a +0, I got a 21
Ooh.
for Knots. And fear does not count on this, right?
Nope.
Okay, because it was with
It's a
fear. So
reaction roll. It's a reaction roll. Yeah. Soy in his spider form manages to kind of cling to the mountainside, and like it brushes off of him. And Triss stands strong, cutting off most of the wind from Grace and Nyx, allowing them to just kind of hunker down and try to stay as solid as they can. Unfortunately, she's not able to block much of the wind for Knot and Kavoon. Knot manages to flatten themselves and hold on to the rock, but there's not really any way for Kavoon to flatten themselves. So Kavoon starts slipping down the rocks, has lost his footing, and is starting to slip down the rocks. Knot, you have a chance here, right next to him.
Sorry, hang on 1 second. I'm looking at my experiences. I'm just trying to find them, see if there's anything that would help here. I am going to spend my hope, pull out like a lasso rope. Quick, like, harness it to, like, flip it around Kavoon, but not. I'm gonna throw the other end to Triss.
All right.
Okay.
So,
Give me an agility roll to try and
Sure.
pull all of that off. And Triss, I will also need I will say agility or finesse roll from you.
They are the same for me. Okay.
Can I?
assist in case the rope misses, like, catching it and dragging it to her? That type of
Yeah,
thing?
you can spend a hope to give Triss advantage.
Okay, I will do that.
You said agility?
Excellent.
Yes.
That's good.
I got 16 with hope.
Nice.
Great. Take that hope.
20 with hope.
Yeah, you managed to pull out of your pack lasso rope is essentially just rope, but it's like climbing rope that you are quickly able to. Have you ever seen people do those like one-handed knots where they just like swing it around and it ties the knot? I actually learned how to do that. I almost got it. But anyways,
Nice.
You essentially do that and then whip it around Kavoon before flinging like boat style, like off the boat towards Triss, the rope. Triss catches the rope. She's definitely strong enough to hold Kavoon. You see Kavoon kind of just swing down, and for a second you're like, no! Before it stops. He stops. Like he doesn't just fall straight down. He like swings over, and so he's like hanging off the edge of this switchback with a rope tied around his gut. He will take a stress because that shit hurts.
Oh yeah.
A lot. So he will take a
I've fallen
stress.
the climbing harness. You just get.
Yeah, it's not fun. It's not fun, but it's better than dying. So he will take a stress. And it's easy enough for Triss to pull him up. And
As you're pulling him back up, I run over and like latch on to one of your legs.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Of course. What are teammates for? Just to haul Kavoon up, sort of like untie and brush him off a little bit. To Kavoon be like, "You all right?"
As soon as Kavoon's back
kind
up,
of glares at Knots.
Oh no.
as soon as Kavoon's back up, I'm just like buried in his fur, sobbing.
No. All right, shall we continue on?
Yeah, we said we'd be quiet and I'll start the game again soon.
Grace just gives a sigh and a little pat on Knots' shoulder.
No.
The story has a bit of an instinct kicking in from the previous memories. So he's going to walk over to Triss and just climb up her back, up onto her.
Yeah, so now you have a giant spider on your back.
I think there's probably a moment of being like, huh. Okay, yeah. All right. Now I'm just imagining someone being like, "Where's this toad? We can't find him," and all of a sudden him doing the little like spider thing from behind Triss's back. I don't know why you said that, and that just immediately popped in my head.
Yeah. But you guys can continue back. You do know that on the next switchback, you do have like a hole in the path, like a chunk missing in the path. But you guys can continue now, for now, past this rock slide area. Up.
As we walk up towards it, you're still in spider form, right?
Correct.
Astoy?
Now on my back.
Right. After I managed to like clear away like tears and the snot that are kind of just a day-to-day occurrence at this point for Knots.
Oh no.
Right. I'm going to ride up on Kavoon and say,
So, I don't know if you can understand me when you're in that form, but can you, like, give me a sign, like a thumbs up? You have thumbs. Some kind of, like, continue wave? You can understand me?
The story will look and like the mandibles will chirp like kind of a second.
I'll take that as a maybe. Okay. You look like you could stick to things, right?
Couple legs kind of like, yeah, tight or like tap on Triss.
But I really want to fall off. I don't want to fall off the mountain anymore. And I feel like, with between my gear and Nix's gear, we could probably put a rope across that up there, but someone has to go across it first. And since you kind of sticky to things, could you take that to the other side and then turn back into something that has thumbs? This will be you'll need to pound in the little metal spikies. And I don't think, can you hold the hammer like that? Does it work that way? Can you stick to the hammer and hold it so that you can hammer in the spikies?
The spider nods as much as it can.
Oh my god.
And then if we could just climb across that and we'll do with harness to it and stuff, there's less chance of falling.
I think I understood that plan, and it actually sounds like a solid idea.
Really? That might be the first time you ever said that.
I mean, it makes sense. Have him go over in spider form and secure a rope for the rest of us. It'll make it easier to cross.
Cool.
Good job.
Grace just gives him a thumbs up. Yeah, I mean, only a few minutes pass before you come up on this gap. This gap is about 15 to 20 feet, across, of the chunk that's missing out of this switchback.
So Astoy will climb down and walk over to the ledge. And just going to study it for a little bit. I'm assuming this is probably dangerous, so I'm just going to go ahead and use my Call of the Brave right now.
Yeah, which lets you do what? Sorry.
I clear 2 stress, gain 2 hope when I'm about to do something dangerous or fight a foe above me.
Oh, yeah, you can absolutely do that.
First thing I'm going to do is try to get some webbing just below this in case someone falls to try to catch them.
Sure. Give me another finesse or instinct roll.
Okay. 17 with fear, unfortunately.
Okay. Yeah, you believe that you've set out at least a good safety net underneath
Okay. And then
at least what you could reach of the gap.
Okay. And then I'll get, up to the cliff face and try to crawl across. Once they give me the rope, I'll obviously take the rope.
Yeah, you're given probably a saddlebag from Kavoon that's just put onto you instead, that has rope and some climbing gear, which would be pythons and things like that you could attach the rope to.
Okay.
Before you go across. You have, I will climb, but you will take a strength or agility roll
Okay.
with advantage to
Gotcha.
try and
Well,
cross.
I'm going to
the
spend
gap.
a hope for Eagle Eye. I guess got Eagle 8 Eyes at the moment for one of my experiences.
Yeah,
Okay.
because that's not creepy.
12, 14, 17 with fear.
Yeah, you manage to climb across. But as you're like climbing across, you cause more bits of rock to shift from where you're climbing, and the rocks start piling up in the webbing that you
Okay.
put below. But you get to the other side.
Okay. The webbing may not be super helpful. We'll see. All right. I will end my form on the other side
Okay.
and find a good place to peek in the rope.
Yeah, give me an instinct roll to see if you can find like
Okay.
the best place to position this python.
16 with fear.
Yeah, you you find a good place that seems solid, that no like extra pieces of rock will fall out, that is actually into the mountain, up about like 4 to 5 feet, that you start pounding this this python into, that you can like attach and tie the rope around.
Okay. I think it's
Yeah.
I think it's secure. Triss, do you want to come first? Because I think if it holds you, it'll hold the rest. But you know,
You are muted.
There was a dog barking outside, so I muted myself and then forgot. Yes, I'm down to go
Okay.
first.
So before we start this amazing plan to get everyone across the gap, I feel like this is a good place to take a little break.
Yeah. All right.
So
Sounds like a
we'll
good
be
plan.
back.
What are you talking about? We're just gonna.
Yeah.
This is gonna be amazing, and we should just hand wave it and come back to us drinking coffee and some.
Uh-huh.
It's gonna be another. It's gonna be like 5 to 10 minutes. We'll come back and see how our crew handles the gap.
We'll be back.
awesome.
Welcome back. We're about to see if our wonderful crew can cross the gap. We currently have a non-spider astoy, having affixed a python with the rope attached to it on the side of the gap that they're trying to get to. And I believe we had a request that Triss be the first one to attempt
Yes.
their way across.
It's a stress test.
It's a stress test.
Actually, a story looking
Alright.
at it. Well, maybe we need more. So he'll knock in a couple more just in case. Not all at one spot, but spread them out so that.
You ever see like
Yeah.
that climbing web instead of just like, you know, a rope that goes across that we're trying to climb across? It could be like an entire series of rope work that you
yeah.
just like climb
Oh,
through.
Anyways, so there's a few pythons on the other side with rope weaved through them, with the rest of the rope thrown across to Triss.
Are you guys gonna knock it in over there?
Oh, yeah. Probably have Nyx do that because he's got the climbing gear.
Yeah, give me a roll, an instinct roll for Nyx, for him to try and find the best place on that side.
What's his bonus?
+2.
Did you just roll that?
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I didn't say if you want to roll, you can. But mine's 13 with fear.
Woohoo.
Okay. Yeah, he follows your lead and knocks in like 3 pythons and weaves the rope around, and so it's not a completely taut rope across. It's got a little bit of give to it, but you have a rope that connects from one side of the gap to the other.
Out of curiosity, how wide is this gap?
15 to 20 feet.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, Trish will give the rope a tug before she tries anything. See if it stays put.
Yeah, give me a strength roll.
Okay. Yeah. All right. That's a 9 with hope, though.
You can take the hope. Yeah, you tug on it, and then pythons don't seem to move on the side that you're next to. And Soy, the pythons seem solid on your side too. She gives it a nice good tug, and it
Awesome.
gives enough give that like you could put your feet up against the wall and hold the rope, and then you're like shimmying across,
Okay.
so that you're less pulling yourself up right up next to but like more of a like slightly laid back.
All right. Cool. Well, I guess I'm gonna send it. I'm gonna spend a hope to use Captain of the Heartblades again to give a little assist for the balance act.
Yeah, give me you can give me a strength or agility, your choice.
We know which one I'm choosing. Okay. 17 with hope.
Okay, you can take that hope. Yeah, you start moving across, and you take the first couple steps, and it seems to be going good. When all of a sudden you're about like 5 feet out, and the pythons on the side you just came from, one of them,
Bing.
and you fall back, and as you
Ah,
jerk
not again.
and as you jerk and put that weight, a second one pings and pulls out. You have a moment here to try and react.
You have a moment to hold up your Wile E. Coyote sign just before you plummet.
Oh my god. Okay.
I'm just a small little thing. I can't help it much. I'm sorry.
I know. How are you? Sound like halfway across?
No, you're only like 5 feet out
Like a step.
from the side that you
Oh. Okay. I'm just gonna jump back for the. I mean, at 5 feet, that's like one step for me. I feel like I would just step back.
Yeah, you can certainly try. That will be an agility roll.
Okay.
Because you're in that moment of slight free fall as you're trying to like push off from the cliffside to step back to the ledge.
All right. Fuck it. Captain of the Heartblades again.
Okay.
That is 16 with hope. Oh, this reaction doesn't matter.
Well, no, this is a moment to act. So
bet. Okay.
Yeah, you push off and step over, and you land your foot almost exactly like on the ledge. but your momentum is still kind of shifting backwards. However, Nyx moves to like grasp your arm to pull you back.
Okay.
So I'm gonna need somebody
Both
to
hands.
roll a strength roll for Nyx.
Go for it, Jeremy.
Triss can spend a hope to roll with advantage. Have him roll with advantage.
Yeah, I'll
Help
do
him.
that.
What's his bonus?
He has a +3, and then he has
Oh.
advantage, so you can add a d6.
Okay, well, so that's 22
Hey.
plus 2, 24.
With?
Sick.
Oh, I didn't think about it when I rolled it because I was thinking it was a reaction die. I would have to call it with fear because that's probably the fear die that I would have chosen.
Yeah, he fully grasps you, and as you put both hands up, he puts another hand up and manages to pull your pretty hefty weight
Yeah.
up.
Impressive.
You use a
Most
lot of core.
impressive.
You use a
Yeah.
lot of core, Triss, to get yourself up.
Triss has abs. We're good.
But there's only one Python now in place on your guys' side. However, you still have access to the rope.
Nyx!
What the crap was that? It was like a... Did you even like hammer that in, or did you just like kind of like stick it in that crack over there and call it good?
Why don't you try instead if you're so good at it?
I'm not, but I was hoping you would be.
Have I given any inclination that climbing is one of my expertises?
You literally have climbing gear. I mean, I literally have climbing gear too, but that's not the point.
Just because I'm prepared for everything doesn't mean I'm good at everything.
You and I have way too much in common, and I don't like this.
I don't like it either.
Stoy will look over. I don't know if this rope plan's going to work. I've got something else I can try.
I think we'll take anything at this point.
We gotta be better than this. Whose idea was this?
Astoy will spin a stress and turn into a giant eagle.
Ooh.
Okay.
Fly, you fools!
I will fly over to Triss
Okay.
and nudge her. Because Triss will be the one that's hardest for me to get across. I can normally carry a couple people, but I'm assuming Triss counts as a couple people.
Yeah, is he gonna be able to carry me?
It's going to be close. Normally, yes, but you are a giant, and you're a tall giant, and you're wearing a shit ton of armor.
Yeah, I'm a 12-foot tall giant in plate armor.
Right.
So it will take a strength roll, but the DC is not like super high, but it isn't an automatic success.
Before you do that, let me see if there's a way I can help. But I need to clarify something. What exactly is small? Am I small?
Yes.
So
You're small.
if I summoned a small spirit, is it essentially my size?
Well, it could be. It could be kind of any. Yours is probably about what? You're like 3 feet. How big are you?
That's a good question. I have
I'm trying
this.
to remember. I know you're pretty small, but I can't
Yeah.
remember your exact.
Oh. Yeah, I'm not very tall.
Yeah, I would say you could probably summon any kind of spirit up to about 3 feet tall. Would be after that you're getting into like the medium range.
So could I, with my natural familiar, could I summon a familiar that flies that could assist in this carrying thing? Essentially, like,
You could try.
okay, I'm gonna definitely summon one of those. I still have to roll for it.
It's like pushing my butt up as I'm
Right.
trying to fly.
Oh, okay, I will take that. So with hope, 15 plus 3, 18.
Okay, but first, tell me what kind of nature around you do you summon this spirit from?
I feel like because that wind moved through, I probably summoned like a wind spirit that just kind of turns into not a cloud, but kind of a like a cumulus type of fog that kind of floats around, but is also solid enough to interact with things. So it doesn't have like wings and stuff, but it is wind that flies.
Yeah, I think your intent was to summon like a cloud. But given the fact that you were thinking about that wind, and it was so cold, that you start, and it looks like a cloud, but then it starts to like solidify into this like ice. So you get this ice creature that is in like the shape of a cloud with these like dark, smoky, cloudy bits like floating off of its back. And it's just kind of glaring at you with like the biggest, brightest blue eyes.
You're neat looking. Hi, I'm Knox.
Yeah.
We're just trying to get from here to there, and most of us can't fly. Not like my mushroom friend here, but is actually currently a big spongy eagle.
That's a mushroom.
You typically, yeah.
Did you eat the mushroom? Or
No, she won't let me. Sometimes I try to, but
Okay. What do
that's
you
not really
want?
what this is about.
What do you want?
Well, I was hoping that you could help us. See, my mushroom friend Astoy here is going to carry my
The
giant
eagle.
friend, right? He's going to carry my
eagle.
giant friend Triss over this somewhat
Well,
small
at least
gap.
you got the race right on that one.
Thanks.
Right, so the eagle's carrying the giant. Sorry, the mushroom is carrying the giant
Right.
across the gap.
If you just give him a boost, just kind of, get in there and just push, or
Where do you
help
want
lift.
me to push?
Trent? Where would you like? What's your name? You have a
summoned
name?
me without knowing my name.
Frederick. Francis? Oni. Bartholomew. Triss, this fellow is gonna help kind of push you over.
My name is Sirius.
Seriously? Right. So Triss, serious. A very serious fellow here is going to try to help Astoy carry you over. Where would you like Darius to kind of, oof, do a toss?
Yeah, where would you like a boost? Giant.
I guess if you're able to help in lifting me so that it's not all on a stoy, that would probably be the best.
You mind if I don't know, tug on your armor?
That's fine.
Great. Count me down, mushroom bird.
The bird will start flapping slowly.
He doesn't have any hands
Okay.
because he was made to be a cloud. So he kind of just like shimmies down the back of your armor and like pushes up from like inside, like between you and your armor.
Okay. Trish is kind of like, ugh, alright.
So yeah, you can give me that strength roll,
Okay.
and I will take into account the familiar.
Okay. Can I use RAR, my experience
Sure.
here,
Yeah.
as I'm getting myself a hernia trying to carry Triss across?
Uh-huh.
All right. Now let's see. This is not with advantage. That would be 12 with fear.
I'll give
Actually,
you one of my my 4 paradise,
Nice.
so you can add 4 to that.
Okay, so that'd be 18 with fear.
Great. Yeah, you managed to get her across. You pull up, and that initial like pull up of getting her off the ground is the hardest bit. But you get her up, and you start like zooming across. You almost have to tuck your knees up when you get to the end, as the
Oh my
altitude
god.
has dropped a little bit. But you get to the other side. You hear something mumbling in your armor. When you get to the other side.
You can get out now.
Do I have to do that again?
I don't think so. I think Astoy will be able to manage everyone else on their own.
Great. He has
On
some
his
cool
own.
tattoos.
Get out!
Oh, he's already out.
Oh, I thought he was talking to me from inside my arm.
When you said you can get out, he like came out and then said that stuff.
The bird head turns around.
I
Like, looks at Triss.
Right?
think Triss like cocks an eyebrow and is like, "Thank you."
I mean, my eye was pressed right up against it, so you know.
Okay.
Look, you can blame the goblin. He told me what to do.
We don't have to keep discussing this. Let's get everyone else across.
Cool.
Astoy, after Triss disembarks, like stretches back a little bit. You know, the bird's just kind of like, oh, looks like he's in pain a little bit, and then we'll take
Oh,
off
God.
flying back across and land.
Yeah, it's easy enough for you to get everybody else across. Nobody else is outside of your realm of ability. So you managed to get the rest of the group across the way. Your little nature familiar is still there, just hanging out.
Perfect.
Oh no.
So is that it?
I mean, you might as well hang on in case, see any of the things, that you might want to see. Or if we need any more help. Or, I'm sure there are other reasons that you could find for...
So if I see something, I should tell you.
Yeah, see something, say something.
I see something.
You live
Over.
here?
That way.
You live in, this area?
No, I mean I see something.
I mean, I see lots of things.
I can't point because you didn't give me hands.
Oh,
But
do you,
it's over there.
you mean, you really see something? Oh, look.
Yeah,
I'll look in that direction.
over there. Yeah, give me an instinct roll.
Oh, critical. Double
Hey.
11s.
Yeah, you can take that hope and clear stress. Yeah, you spot what looks to be like a couple giant eagles.
They were just watching this the
Moving.
entire time. They're like, what the
Moving in your
fuck are these
direction.
people doing?
Oh my god.
Well, you now have a giant eagle that is encroaching in their territory. They are heading in your direction.
Have we gotten everyone across?
They're still my
Yes, everyone is
friends.
across.
You're
boy.
people.
They look like they're aggressive when he points them out.
You can give me an instinct roll to try and determine their
Okay.
intent.
While he's rolling that, can you clarify something for me, Carly? Can I clear Kavun's stress with that?
With
That
oh yeah, you can clear yours or his. Not
Okay,
both.
cool. Thanks.
Yeah, that'd be 10 with hope.
Oh boy.
You're not sure. They are flying towards you and your group. You're not sure if they're angry at you or hungry or what. You do know that giant eagles have a tendency to pick up their food and drop them to kill them and then eat them.
Oh boy.
Oh, yeah.
And you were just picking up things, and so
They fly over. They're just like, higher. You need to drop them from higher. You were just like delivering them. What are you doing? Do this right.
Oh no.
but they are currently like, you know, very far away.
Okay.
He'll nudge Triss, like, and then start moving forward.
Are you giving signs that this seems like a bad thing?
He doesn't seem to. He's just like moving.
Okay.
Grace turns to you and is like, I can hit them from here.
Did you hit his people?
No, I meant if we think they're a problem.
Oh.
Why would they be a problem?
Because they
Oh, okay.
kill things that they don't like or that are encroaching on their territory. Like Astoy said that just earlier.
Well, let's keep an eye on them, and if they attack, we'll be prepared. But if they don't attack, we can save
Well,
our
what's
energy.
considered attacking? How close are we gonna let them get?
I mean, they're birds. I imagine they have to get pretty close to us to be able to attack. So if they start dive bombing us, we'll take that as a clue.
They just have like laser
Okay,
eyes.
so we're gonna wait until they are on top of us.
To be fair, we are in their home. We might be able to
Okay.
convince them that we mean them no harm.
We should give them food.
That's actually not a bad idea. A peace offering?
What kind of food do you have?
That is a good
question.
Besides you.
Right.
I mean, we have food. We've been eating.
We're all like super skeletal, like emaciated, starving.
Oh,
Food!
no.
I knew we forgot something.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I mean, you guys continue your trek. There doesn't seem to be any immediate dangers on the switchbacks. However, the birds are coming fast towards you guys.
I
They're
mean,
now far away.
even though I kind of want them to be friends, they seem to be flying awfully fast towards them. There's like this instinct that's starting to kick in, me being very small, them being very large. I'm going to go ahead and pull out my bow and swap my weapon.
Okay.
That's fair.
You can give me an instinct roll to try and determine what their intent is with that newfound self-preservation.
Instinct, you say, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Got hope by 1. 7 and 6 is 13 plus 2 is 15.
With hope?
With hope.
Okay.
Barely.
Yeah. Now that they're closer, albeit they don't look nice, they're looking at you, and the way that they're moving, your familiarity with the way that creatures move in nature.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're getting ready to get you, and they're hungry.
I am going to look at Grace and say, yeah.
Shooting him from here is probably not a bad idea.
And I'm going to take out my little prism and set it on the ground and like wave my hand over it as like little rainbow lights begin to dance around and enhance those who have spellcast powers within close distance of the prism. You get +1 to your spellcast rolls.
Nice.
Great. And so Grace will just look at the rest of you like, should I?
Oh.
If she receives a nod.
Stoy will nod. I think. Or like, they look like they're coming to fight.
Yeah, then she will, sorry. Sorry, I think she didn't update this, her card. It's fine. No, she will, take out her staff and just kind of pound it on the ground and send out like a wave of magic towards the bird that is in front. If somebody wants to roll an attack roll with a +3.
I'll do it. I've been
+4.
rolling for her.
+4, and actually you can add 3 more to make it a +7 because she's gonna spend a hope.
Nice.
Ooh, okay.
Nice.
To wait, actually,
That's crit.
1 second.
Double fives.
Amazing.
Yeah, then she is going to mark a stress to hit an additional target in range. So she's gonna hit
Nice.
them with that
Nice.
crit.
Let's go.
So it's going to be 22 points. And then if somebody will roll 3d6 for me.
You rolled the crit, Lauren. Keep
True.
going.
True.
All right. 5. That is 12. I rolled a 5, a 1, and a 6.
12. So 16 plus 22
38.
is 38. That's exactly double the severe
Wow.
of the
Nice.
creatures.
Oh no! Oh my god!
And no, wait until you hit. Giant eagles have 4 hit points. So
She just says no.
she shatters both of them.
Note to them out of existence.
I think Trish just lets out a low whistle.
Right?
I can't actually whistle, so I have to narrate that.
Yeah, no, she sends out this like wave of magic that has this like pink sparkle to it that like
Amazing.
slams into the 2 giant eagles, and there's like a puff of like pink smoke like that you would see at like a concert, and the eagles just drop from the sky and just start falling.
Something Taylor Swift reference to the song "The Archer."
There we go.
Nice.
Stoy will take off and see if he can catch one of these corpses before it hits the ground.
Nice.
Sure. Give me an agility roll.
All right.
Love that Maggie just annihilated an entire encounter and she's not even here.
Right. She neoed
I'm pretty sure
back.
that's
She's like,
the most
"No."
damage that she's done. Like,
Oh no!
I don't know that she's rolled a crit on anything other than like than a tag team attack.
Oh
So,
yeah.
and she definitely. I mean, I used the primal origin. Like, if she spends a stress, she can do a bunch of different things, and that was the one that allowed me to hit another target. And
Nice.
Nice.
so,
That'd be 18 with hope.
you can take that hope, and you swoop down and try to grasp at it, but you catch like right where just the feathered part of the wings are, where there's no bone or sinew, and just kind of rip out a bunch of the feathers as the body continues
Okay.
to drop to the ground.
Nice.
Ahead of you, sorry, with the people that are still up on the ledge, you guys hear a like thundering, familiar thundering sound.
Like rock slide thundering.
Oh
Yes.
no. Oh
And you
shit.
get the sense that maybe there's a little bit of backlash from the powerful
The
magic
sound
that's
of
been
them hitting the
released.
pavement.
Oh no.
So I need yeah, so you guys have like time to do one action to try and prepare yourself for this oncoming rock slide that is coming from above you.
I get in between everyone and the rock slide. That's what I do.
Sure, give me a strength roll.
Bet. Can I spend another stress to add the I am your shield advantage like I did last time?
Sure, yeah.
Bet. Is this smart? I don't know. It's fine. Damn it, that was almost another crit. Hold on. Shit, that's only for an ally. That fails. How much is... I rolled so terribly. Alright, I've added my last paradise in hopes that this will make it possibly work.
Well, tell me what it is with the
Oh.
paradise.
With the paradise?
Yeah.
Okay, with the paradise, it is, let's see, it was 14 with the paradise.
Sorry, Nyx will spend his 3-point paradise to add 3 to that as well.
Okay, and is this
To make
is not a reaction, so that was rolled with fear.
Okay. Yeah, so, the other two of you, I mean, you're still below them in bird form, but you can, so I hear the oncoming rock slide.
Okay. I will position myself where, like, if I see one of them get knocked off, I can try to dive to catch them.
Sure, give me an agility roll,
Okay.
please.
Would advantage on locate help with that?
This is
Watching.
to react to it, so not in this instance. Maybe in the
Okay.
actual try to catch to them. This is just how prepared you are
Gotcha.
for something to
Okay.
happen.
That would be a 14 with fear.
Okay. Nats, what are you and Kavoon trying to do?
So, like, I scramble towards. So we're on a hill essentially, or like a mountain, and we've been going up switchbacks. So the one side of it should be higher, right? So like I could smoosh up against one side and hope the rocks go over me, essentially. Like I'm looking for a spot where I can hunker down and hope that the wave of stone that makes it past Triss will...
Yeah, you can, so Triss is, like, hunkered herself as, like, a barrier over the top of you guys, so you can try and flatten yourself, like, up against the mountainside to try and avoid any other rocks. So you can make an agility or, make an agility roll to try and press yourself and Kavoon up against the mountainside.
Is that a 2 or a 7? Hang on. It's a 7. Good. 19 plus 3 is 22.
With
Hope.
Okay, take that hope. Yeah, and you're smushed up against the mountainside. Grace kind of joins you up against the mountainside, so somebody wants to roll an agility roll for her.
I can do it. I don't know how to roll it for her. What is the add?
It's a 0. But I will actually, let's spend a hope to add +2.
Okay, that's 20 with fear.
Okay. And then Nyx will kind of brace himself over the top of Knots and Grace as like a secondary barrier to the rocks. If somebody wants to give me a strength roll for him, it's +3.
Do you want me to, Jeremy, or you?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I'm like waiting for you to do it too. I'm like,
Okay. Well, Nyx is going off. That'd be an 8
Right.
with fear. I am
An
rolling
8
horribly
with-
for Nyx. It's like I'm trying to get him killed or something.
All right, yeah, he's gonna spend one of his other prayer dice to make that a 10. With fear. As the avalanche starts pulling through the group. Triss manages to block most of it. She does get pretty pounded by the rocks. She takes 11 points of physical damage.
Oh, that doesn't even reach my minor.
So you take one hit point.
Yeah.
pretty pounded
She's a fucking
meaning.
tank.
Whatever.
Don't remember you can negate it with your armor.
Well, yeah, if she wants to.
I don't think it does anything if it's below my minor already.
No, okay, so there's only 2 thresholds. One of them's technically major, and the other one is severe. If you're below the major, you take minor damage, but if you still negate it down to 0, you take nothing. It just, you have to spend resources.
Oh. Okay,
I was saying your new armor ability, the one that we forgot about last week, that just straight reduces damage.
Yeah, that would take it from 11 to 4. And then I guess if I spend an armor slot, that just negates all damage.
Yeah. So it's basically, do you want to use up an armor slot or take a hit point?
Sure, because if you're going to do a fight, I'll use Unstoppable, and I get like 3 free armor slots. I get a bunch of armor slots equal to my proficiency when I enter Unstoppable.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Go for it.
Cool. Triss takes no damage from a rock slide.
Right.
However, some of the rocks do manage to come through, and Nyx gets pulled away from where he was braced against the mountain. And Nyx will take 15 points of physical damage.
Damn.
And
they're like just bouncing off you and hitting him in the head.
Right.
well, it's not so much the ones that like came down on him. It's like
Sure.
him getting pulled away in the crush of rocks that does more of the damage. But he'll use 1 armor slot to take 1 hit point. So and he starts getting pulled away. So Stoy,
Yes.
you can give me an agility roll with advantage to try and catch him, like before he gets pulled completely off the side of the cliff.
That'd be 23 with fear.
Yeah, you swoop down and pull him up, but not before his leg kind of gets pinned in between some of the rocks that are pulling, and it's like pulling at the same time that you're pulling up. And as you pull, Nyx feels this slight pop in his like ankle before you rip him out of the rocks, so he will take another only 2 points of physical damage. So he'll just take another hit point on that. As you pull him out from the rocks and set him and like hold him until the slide has finished.
Okay.
But everyone else manages to get through.
Yeah.
As I watch Nyx get
Chris thought
carried
about
away.
it.
I'm like, no, I barely even.
You am now Nixa.
Oh god.
And then he just gets set down behind Triss.
Oh, you're okay.
You alright? Triss is like brushing dust off of herself, unscathed. Armor's got like a little ding in it.
Fine. Just fine.
Everyone else okay?
Think so. Those beetles are not okay. Did you see that?
That was pretty good.
I'm gonna
I
do
mean-
whatever the Daggerheart broken spine version of a high five is with Grace.
I mean, it's a high five. She gives you like an awkward high five, and she's like, I'm better from a distance. I always end up like right next to the people trying to hurt me, and then I die. Well, or get injured. So I told you, just give me a little warning, and
Keep that in mind for the future.
Astoy will do like the little bird hop over to Nyx and take like a wing and wrap it around him, and I'll spend 3 hope to do regeneration.
okay.
Yeah.
How much
See
do
if
you
I can
heal
roll
him?
more than a 1 for once.
Sorry, all I can think of right now, has anyone ever seen the movie Beastmaster?
Yes.
And like the things
No.
with the wings and they wrap around and they dissolve the person and then just like bones fall out. Well, so Ryan, your character survived all of this stuff just for a new mushroom to dissolve you and heal himself. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
2. He'll heal for 2.
Okay, well that's what he had. So
Yay.
I'm also gonna drink one of my minor stamina potions.
yeah, go for it.
That takes away 3 stress, so now I'm down to 1.
You know, I'm not 100% sure that we're gonna need to worry about those people that we're after getting to the other side of this mountain, because we're having as much difficulty. I feel like there's a good chance we just might find their corpses littered somewhere across this mountainside.
I don't think that would be particularly helpful as we are tracking them for information, so hopefully they're not dead, but hopefully they're having as much trouble, if not more, traversing this than we are.
You know, my Nana used to be able to do this thing where she could make somebody's skull talk. They had to be dead, obviously. I mean, she could also talk to them while they're living. They didn't have to be dead, but like, if they were dead, she could get them to talk. This is awesome. We could. Well, she's dead now too, but okay, anyway.
Okay.
Right. Well, we still have daylight, so do we want to keep
I say
going?
keep moving as long as the sun's up.
The bird nods.
Great.
Hey, serious? Hey, say how.
What? You guys kind of suck.
Damn.
Well, on that note, I dismiss you.
Not anyway.
Right?
The last thing you see are the glowing blue eyes staring at you.
Oh, boy.
He's kind of creepy. You know, this gonna be honest.
Yeah, a little bit. I think I would agree.
The story's gonna use his wild touch. There'll be like a little icy gust of wind that'll just blow up below knots up into his shirt or up into her shirt. Just icy cold.
Oh, ooh.
It might still be around. We should watch what we say.
Alright.
About that creepy little bastard.
Yeah, you guys can start heading up the mountain. You get through a good chunk of the mountain without really any problems coming up. I mean, you're just heading higher and higher, and soon lose sight of the like ground below, and just see like bits of mountain tops. You can no longer see where you came from. You can start seeing ways, if not specific paths, to cut across into other like mountains, but you haven't seen any signs of anybody doing that. But it is no longer just kind of this solo switchback. The switchback is just the easiest way to move higher. And you can see that it just gets colder the higher and higher you get. Even though the sun is still out, it's just getting colder and colder. You start seeing, I mean, it's harder in the sunlight, but you can see bits of your breath coming out. And snow, you can start seeing snow within the mountain range, even though you haven't quite reached that height. You can see it like across the landscape in front of you as you continue to climb. The switchbacks start, they're not as steep, and they start moving out like wider, so it's the climb up the mountain isn't going as fast as the switchbacks cut wider and less steep out.
The story will also keep an eye out for like deer or sheep or something up here on the mountain.
Yeah, give me an instinct roll.
Okay. Let's see. 14 with fear.
Yeah, you've seen a couple instances of mostly like mountain goats.
Okay.
Out here. You haven't seen anything that looks like signs of what would be like flocks for any kind of like mountainous villages out in this area yet.
That's fine. mountain goat's good enough eating. So at some point, a soy will take the flight and go in and just grab a mountain goat and drag it back, fly it back, and just drop it.
Oh.
Yeah. At one point, Knots, you get the life scared out of you
Right.
as a goat is just dropped
no.
like 2 feet in front of you
No.
and kind of splatters you with goat blood.
I don't know what it is about this area, but it has the weirdest weather.
Oh. I think Trish just looks up to where Astoria is like circling.
Right.
Oh god.
While we've been going also, so I had been tracking the people that we're going after, and I'm just going to keep an eye out. Like, I'm assuming a lot of this is very rocky and difficult to track on, but are there any signs that I can find that they passed this way? Because what if they went
Sure.
somewhere else?
Give me a well, an agility roll for you if you're using gifted tracker.
So it's an 18 with fear.
Okay. Yeah, there's not any like definitive signs of people, as you are on like a pretty distinct path with no like mud or things like that.
Right.
It's just kind of a loosely traveled path. However, at one point later in the day, you do find an area like in the middle of one of the switchbacks that looks like it might have had a campfire
Okay.
at one point in the past week, as if they ended up having to camp on the path.
I'll definitely point that out. And you said we're not in the snow yet, right? We can see the snow,
No.
but we're not up that high. Okay.
Haven't gotten there yet.
But it
Although
looks
you
like-
might get there by nightfall
Okay.
if you keep just going up.
After the goat hits the ground,
Thanks. What are we supposed to do with this?
I
Okay,
imagine
what time
eat
is
it.
it? Oh, go ahead.
I just said Trish. I think Trish like pokes it with the butt of her halberd. Is like, I imagine eat it.
Okay. We're gonna have to stop and dress it and stuff, and I bet you the story could just eat it the way it is right now in his big bird farm, but
I know how to skin an animal. It's not too
should we
hard.
just stop for the day somewhere around here and then do
What
that?
time is it?
It's late afternoon, so you probably have another 2 hours of daylight, maybe. If you traveled that full hour and a half to 2 hours, you'd probably reach where the snow is.
Stoy will return to his normal form. I do think it's probably a wise idea if we start looking for shelter.
Yeah,
Good
so I wouldn't
shelter.
want to try to minimize our time in the snow at night. So,
did you
See anything while you were flying around? Caves or anything?
I didn't see much. Did I see anything?
You can give me another instinct roll.
Okay.
is this a thing that, because we're on the ground looking around and he was in the sky looking around, that we could help one another somehow?
You guys, if he doesn't find anything on this one, you guys could do another check, but this is kind of a post check from what he saw
Okay.
while he was up in the air.
So that include the bird bonuses then?
Yes.
Okay. That would be a 21 with hope.
Nice.
Okay, you can
Nice.
take that hoe. Yeah, while you were flying up, you saw a point, probably not too far from where you are now. You're not exactly sure of how many switchbacks you would need to go. That peels off north from one of the switchbacks not onto like a specific path, but there is like level enough terrain to move through that leads to some sort of opening. You're not sure if it's a shallow cave or tunnels, but something like that is cut into the mountain. You did see somewhere that would be protected from the elements.
Yeah, I think if we travel a little bit further up, there may be decent shelter up there. Now, I didn't see whether there's creatures already in that shelter or not, but there are some caves up there.
All right, let's
And
make
he'll
for
like
those then.
pick up the goat and get it over his shoulders to carry it.
Nice.
Was there
Now-
any wood left for the campfire that they had?
The campfire was like a little bit ago. That was like during the trek up. No, it was just kind of like leftover like marks of like charcoal on the ground, like the slightest indications that somebody had built a fire.
We should try to keep an eye out for any branches or anything along the way, just in case.
And there's a possibility that they might be in that cave, because I'm not sure how long ago they used that fire. And it was back there, depending on how their travels have been. We should just be careful going into this cave.
Good idea.
Yeah, you guys continue moving up. Then you move up a few switchbacks before you get to the point where you believe the that like kind of flattened out ledge or rock shelf. You can like clamber towards where you believe the opening is. You can't see it from where you are on the switchbacks, but the terrain that comes off of the switchbacks looks familiar.
Okay.
As this is not a path, it will need strength or agility checks for everyone that is trying to maneuver across this terrain. And whoever is leading will also need to give me an instinct roll to try and spot the path and where the cave is.
I should probably not be leading then.
Can be yours' choice of who leads.
So I'm double checking my ranger stuff, see if there's like a thing that helps with this. I don't think so.
Astoy would have advantage on both this check and if he's the one leading.
I can't help you, but good luck.
All right, I can lead. So you want an instinct check from me? Okay.
Yes.
I will spend a hope to use Eagle Eye experience.
Okay.
Well, that would be a crit on double ones.
Ooh, on double
Hey.
one.
Oh my
Love
god.
it.
You can clear stress and take a hope.
Yep.
Yeah, you like I said, you don't see the cave entrance immediately, but the terrain looks very familiar, and you're very easily able to guide the group in the direction that you need to go. However, I still do need strength or agility checks from everyone. Astoy will also have
23.
advantage on this one.
Oh,
23 with
yeah.
hope.
With hope.
Great.
Kavoon has a 15 with hope, but doesn't matter.
Not for Kavoon.
Come on, Nick. Or not Nick's. Double 11s, critical.
Hey.
Nice. So you can take a hope and clear a stress. And then I need roll from Astoy, Grace, and Nyx.
I got Grace.
I'll do a Nick's roll.
Grace is 17 plus, I'm assuming her agility. I don't know what
Plus
that is.
0 is her better.
Okay, so
better
17.
With hope or fear, sorry.
With hope, actually. Rolling kind of decent for once.
What did Nyx get?
Critical double sevens,
Oh my god.
right?
Nice.
Everyone went, we are not falling today.
Right? The
Just
cave
don't
is
do
in
so.
sight. We're getting in that cave.
We have a goat to roast.
It's the
And
goat.
what
Yeah.
did a stoy get?
13 with hope.
Okay.
I was focused on getting to that cave.
Yeah, he stumbles a couple times, but there's enough people nearby that got crits that just kind of give him a hand.
Imagine Triss is right behind
as
him, so
he-
his large hand just goes.
But he very easily guides you. It takes you about like 30 to 40 minutes like off trail of like bouldering and scrambling to get to the entrance of this cavern. When you get to the entrance, you can see about 15 to 20 feet in, and you don't see a back to it, but you can't see any further in with the eyesight that you have.
Before I forget, did you clear a stress and add hope for Nyx?
Yeah. I can't do it to their character sheets, but I'm keeping track on
Thank you.
in here so they know.
Awesome.
I'm gonna light a torch.
Yeah. You light the torch and you can see about another 10 to 15 feet in, and you can see that it starts to narrow a little bit, but you can't see the back of it. So you can see about 25 to 30 feet into this entrance. And the opening is about 20 feet in diameter. And it's about 20 feet tall. And you can see about 25 feet back, and it starts to narrow, but you can't see like a full back to it with just the torch at the entrance.
I kind of sniff the air, but then I glance over at Kavoon to see if Kavoon is like smelling anything.
You're getting a dirty cat and dead goat and wet bird.
Right.
Oh
But I
god.
glance over to Kavoon to see if Kavoon smells anything that's making him seem annoyed or defensive or anything. Can I do like
He's
a
giving a slight glare in Astoy's direction, but if you want to make a roll for him, you
Sure.
absolutely can.
not great. 10.
Yeah, you get the sense that he can't smell anything besides the dead goat and lingering scent of bird.
There's like a little bit of drool that's starting to form though. He's just like, goat.
Hey, Knots, are there any tracks?
I look back at the tracks that we just made
No,
over anybody else's that might have come up here. But I will check to see if there's any like animal tracks that we may not have.
Give me a roll.
Don't worry, guys.
So with fear, it is a 19.
Yeah, you peer around you like into this cave entrance for the part that you can see. And there's no humanoid tracks and nothing that looks like wild animals that you're familiar with. In fact, it's a little, especially for such a protected area, a little devoid of tracks. It's a little suspicious.
Is the ground super rocky, or does it seem like it might have been cleared?
It's pretty flat and it looks a little bit worked. And as you're thinking about that, you stop looking at the ground for tracks and you start looking up on the like walls, and you can see more of those etchings and engravings that you saw from occasionally on the path.
I will point them out. Is there any difference to these from the ones we saw in the past that might give us a better idea of their meaning?
Yeah, you could give me a knowledge roll, or Grace would volunteer to take a look as the most knowledgeable person.
I feel like that'd be a good choice.
To assist her.
Yes.
Great.
You should take a look at this because I'm not the smartest of the group.
I'll roll for her. Is someone giving an assist?
Is that a hope? Spend a hope to do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that.
And you can also add. Sorry. You can add a +3 as she spends a hope to use one of her experiences.
That is 15.
So it's gonna be +5.
Oh.
Sorry, it's gonna be +5 total from her.
Plus, okay. 17 total then.
Great, with hope or fear.
With hope.
Right.
Stop feeding the fear machine.
Yeah, she looks over the patterning, and it seems to be of the same source, as if it's the same language or same base magic. However, she can't read its intent and doesn't know the cultural source of it, but she can tell you it is not weather-based magic like the ones on the pass, where it's for some other intent. And there seems to be more of it, and it's kind of patterned across the walls, like from the entrance of the cave, pulling in a little deeper.
Hey, Tris? How far do you think you could throw that goat?
Stoy puts his hands on the goat.
Eat it.
Ooh, we'll eat it too, but can you just toss the goat in there
Are there
real
like
quick?
rocks or anything around that I can just pick up to essentially do what Not's asking? And not for the goat.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy enough. I mean, this is very rocky terrain, so you could find something to use, whether you have to break it off from somewhere or it's already loose
so just
somewhere
pick
in the
up
ground.
a chunk of rock and then just down the tunnel.
Yeah, you toss it in.
I'm assuming that's what you wanted me to do, actually. Okay. Yeah.
I have rock is different than flesh, and therefore if this spell was if something creature-wise went in there, but I'm waiting to see what happens with the rock.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you see the rock and it bounces in.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see slight scuffs in what kind of dirt is there from where it hit before it bounces out of the line of sight of the light, and you can hear the echoing in the cave, but none of the runes, none of the sigils flash, and nothing seems to happen right away.
Hey, Knots, that creature you summoned earlier, it was a spirit of this land?
But it was more like a spirit of the air of this area.
Would you be able to summon a spirit of this cave that might be able to explain?
Yeah, maybe. But not right now.
Oh.
Kind of wore out. And usually I can only do those things maybe once a day. And then I kind of have to rest after that. Because I was thinking about summoning one and just sending it in and see what happened. But then I was like, wait, I can't do that right now. And then the goat crossed my mind, because if we threw a goat in there and there was some kind of laser beams or something that shot out of the glyphs at creatures, then it would maybe do that. But maybe everything's okay. Next, you got anything?
Here,
Well,
just
we
wait
could
here.
just rest the night. Oh,
Astoy will like unload the goat off. Don't throw my goat.
You did drop it out of the sky. This one. It's gonna point that out. I don't think you're gonna hurt it anymore.
No, but I want to eat it. That was tenderizing it.
Hey,
Astoya will walk in along the side and looking at the runes, and he'll
You enter into the cave, but like near one of the edges,
yes,
looking at the runes. Okay.
yeah, on the side. He'll open up his hand, and like a little light of fire will appear in it
Mhm.
to help him see, and we'll hold it up and walk around the edge of the cave.
Yeah. When you first enter, I mean, nothing seems to happen. You're holding the light up to the runes, and you can kind of see them, the way that they're like cut into the rock. But I mean, nothing happens in those first few steps.
The Arcana Covenant doesn't start glowing and you melt or explode or anything. That's good.
See, it's okay as he keeps walking in and around.
Okay. Yeah. When give me a intelligent or a knowledge reaction roll.
Knowledge reaction. Okay. So
Yeah, see, it's okay.
oh no.
that would be a 14 with fear.
There's no hope or fear with reaction rolls.
Oh, true.
I
Yeah.
mean, you start moving in, and I mean, you move in, and some of your sight continues past where the torch is, and you start seeing the back of the cave, and like the etchings and markings kind of circle all the way to the back of the cave, and it's fine.
Are
Because
there any
he's
torches or anything? Like, any places in here for torches?
Nope. It looks like it's just like a cave that goes about, it's 20 foot diameter, and it like shallows out, and like at its deepest, it goes back about 50 feet from
Okay.
the entrance to the cave.
Nice.
That's where you see the back.
Okay, I'll walk back up to him. Seems fine.
Good.
They some dope.
What was
Well,
that?
let's start prepping. Let's start prepping the goat.
I'll get a fire going.
Great. As the rest of you, besides Astoy, move into the cavern, into the cave, I'm going to need knowledge reaction rolls from all of you.
Does Kavoon need to do one?
Yes.
Okay. That's 17 for Kavoon. Oh, no, he has my agility, right?
Yes,
That's
he gets your agility.
20 for
A
Kavoon.
20? Hey, I also got a 20, which
Nice.
is really good for me.
Nice.
What did
And it-
Knots get?
And a 10 for Knox.
No.
And I need Nyx and Grace.
Yeah.
Grace has a
We'll do
+2, and Nyx has a -1.
That's 17 for Grace.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nick has a 14.
Great. Everybody starts moving into the cave. And it's fine. It's just a cave that
Alright.
closes off to the back.
This is Jeremy's I Believe You face.
Uh-huh.
Look, if we had made the decision on blind reaction rolls, you wouldn't even know that you were doing a reaction roll.
What?
Yikes.
But no, it seems fine. It's like I said, it continues back about 50 feet. The runes kind of are spread out all the way across, and there's no like layer of magic or anything like that. Like it's just a cave with etchings and engravings.
Have we been able to find any burnable material?
I think we were looking as we walked, but
Yeah. Give me just a hope roll. Just 1d12. Tell me what you get.
That's an 11.
Yeah, you found enough burnable material to easily make a fire tonight.
nice.
So I'll get to work on that while Triss gets that goat ready.
Yeah, I feel like that's a pretty good place to leave off for next time. We'll have
Yahoo.
campfire talks and who knows what else.
You're not going to end on, go ahead and roll initiative.
This isn't D20. This isn't Dimension 20.
Oh my god.
Nice.
Oh.
So no game next week. So we are off for the next week, and then the next game will be 2 weeks from tonight, which should be the 18th of October. However, tomorrow night, join Jason and I and some others. Oh, Carly's also in that game. More than half of this group right now.
I could just not show up. It's fine.
Right.
Oh god.
We'll be back for Hunter Bad Blood episode 5, I believe, tomorrow night at 8 p.m. And then we've got a week off for both of these shows. But on Wednesday, you can join us at 1 p.m. Eastern for the next episode of For the Horde of the Dragon Queen, where our merry band of cultists are trying to summon back Tiamat from the Abyss or the Avernus, wherever she's vacationing unwillingly. And yeah, and then we'll see you again in 2 weeks. We're going to raid, so hang out for that, please. But otherwise, thank you all so much for watching tonight. Thank you all for playing tonight. It was a blast. Looking forward to seeing what hidden wonders this cave has in store for us.
There's something in here. There's something in here.
A cave. No, you guys think it's just a cave.
Yeah.
It's just a cave.
Yeah, Knots completely thinks it's just a cave. But Jeremy! Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you next time.
See ya.